What's up, everybody? I'm going at it online again with these guys. They talking about a video that I made 8 years ago. And I was walking around in Harlem talking about how the churches are closing. And I was saying the churches are closing because the neighborhood is being gentrified. And the reason the church is closed is because the people that used to live in that neighborhood used to attend the local church. But now that they got to move, they can't go to that church no more because, you know, it's a strain as far as traveling. So the church closes. And I was in D.C. talking about the same thing. I was in Washington, D.C. And I was talking about how Georgia Avenue don't even look like Georgia Avenue anymore, like it used to look back in the 80s. Georgia Avenue used to look like 8th Avenue in New York City. It don't look the same no more. I didn't even know I was on Georgia Avenue until I looked up and read the sign. But back to what I was saying is like the church closes because the people that attend the church don't live in that neighborhood anymore. And then, you know, another guy was telling me that, well, stop telling people we Hebrew Israelites. He's arguing with somebody else. Because they're talking about we Hebrew Israelites, we don't know our true identity. Like I keep telling you, every 10 years, black people, we change our identity. But, the condition stays the same. Like I told you, when Europeans, they call us black. We're not black color-wise. But when Europeans first came to America, they were called pilgrims. Then they went from being called pilgrims to calling themselves Puritans. They called themselves Puritans, and they called Native Americans, and they called black people heathens. Then they went from calling themselves Puritans to calling themselves Christians. But when Native American and black people thought that they could change their condition by becoming Christians, the white people stopped calling themselves Christians, and they started calling themselves English. But when the country started getting an influx of more Europeans from other parts of Europe, they couldn't use the term English anymore. So they would say they're like Italian American, Swedish American, German American, shit like that. So black people fought for the right to leave black neighborhoods and be called African American. So Europeans said that's it. We just gonna call ourselves white. We white and you black. And as slavery enriched the country, being white took on a significant meaning. That's why I say things like good guys wear white, bad guys wear black. Angel food cake is white, devil food cake is black. You wear white to a wedding, you wear black to a funeral. Good guys, even on the car battery, the positive wire is the red wire, but the negative wire is the black wire. So that's why black took on a negative connotation and white took on a positive one. Because Europeans are not white. That line is white. And that's another thing where I've been telling people, stop using the term people of color, because all people have color. All people of color don't mean nothing. But like I was saying, when slavery was taking place in America, it was very specific. It was done to black people and black people only. You had white serfs, but it didn't last a lifetime. Their indentured, their servitude didn't last a lifetime, and they wasn't born into it, and it wasn't inherited to their children. And the longest it could last at most was 7 years. So it's not the same thing. They wasn't beat, they wasn't raped, they wasn't taken off their land, none of that. Servitude, indentured servant, and slavery is two different things. But back to what I was saying is like, black people, we just y'all keep changing our status and all this. It's all bullshit, man. Calling yourself black is very specific. It's very specific. All that other shit don't mean nothing. Because people of color could be anybody. And like I keep telling you, everybody comes to America, they use that term, people of color. They use that to get a free ride. In a sense, like they make it seem like the bad shit that happened to them in America, and it didn't. It happened to them in their country. And they come from their country to this country to correct it. That's what they come to. They leave their country to come to this country to correct it. But black people didn't leave their country and come to this country to correct our poverty. Poverty was put on black people in this country. And when you use people of color, everybody gets a free ride because everybody got color. Everybody got pigmentation. Everybody got melanin. Some just got more than others. So when you use that term, people of color, it doesn't signify anybody. It's not specific. What's up, everybody? These are my 2 books that self-published. Why don't you use your Cash App and get a few copies? Or if you'd like to know more, just inbox me, all right? Later.